Jackson
See how
5.
much, Dave? I don't see how much it says it is.
It's not $25 a night.
I heard it twice this
There's
morning.
no way it's $25 a night.
Yep.
Then they're stupid. They
That's
could
$1.5
be,
million house, dude.
I mean, you can't even get a normal stupid house for that much.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. Hey,
It's not.
turn my volume down a little bit.
Your volume's right there on number 2.
Which one?
The one number 2. It's the one that looks like poop. See, number 2.
Yeah, it. They were talking about it this morning. I said $25.
No way.
That's what they said.
They lied to
Heard
you.
it on the radio.
Where in the hell is it? Oh, there it is, right there where it says live. Damn it. Go. Big. Make it big.
I'm just
You're welcome.
practicing.
Would you poop here again? That's a good question.
Would you poop here again?
Oh, that's weird. Because I looked up. Man, there is a significant delay
On what?
on the Facebook
Yeah,
video.
I can watch.
Patrick.
I can watch myself eating.
I can watch me watch you eating. You know what? I need a red one. No. Ooh, there's a black one. Oh, that's not black. It's just green. Ron, I think I may have had some drugs this morning.
I definitely did.
Oh, there we go. There's a red one. Would you like to put this in? Where's that? Where? This
Right.
side?
Yes.
Right up here?
Yes. Yeah.
There we go. All right, much better. I am now even. God, I look like a fat pig from the side. Don't ever let me do that again. No one looks good from the side, Ron.
Nobody.
No.
That
Hey.
woman that'll sell you her underwear does.
That's a good point. You may have just proven us wrong. Hi, everybody. Patrick and Brenda and Lisa and Ginger.
With
What
nothing
is
else to
Ginger?
do.
Oh, God, I thought that was a cow. I thought...
Oh,
I
that's
could
going to
see-
get you in trouble.
No, it looked like Ginger and Audrey. No, it looked like Ginger's profile picture was a cow, but it's a little dog. Well, it comes up really small over here. So, and Audrey, we're so glad to see you back. Did you get fired or something?
Audrey.
It's only 5:00 in California.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Duh.
She works at Disney. Disney.
I'm sorry.
Omicron. Omicron. Doris. I am dingling dangling. I got nothing.
Described that way. That's great. I see you've seen Ron naked too. It's
Weekdays, 8 Eastern. Mojo 50. Mojo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. Adjust your mojo now. Thank
Ding,
you.
ding, 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 ding.
Almost dropped it. We got vented.
The mothership has landed. Brad Staggs. Almighty Mojo 50.
And it's another ADD Thursday, so producer Ron is here, as well as our Chief of Global Security, David G, is in the house. He's already felt me up.
Yeah.
We've already discussed selling your underpants, and my ball fell off. Sorry, excuse me. Hold on one second. I have to
I'm gonna
reinstall
give
my
that
ball.
little ring just in case.
All right, now give me a little more
That's-
guidance here.
That's not the one I helped
No,
with.
it isn't the one you
To
helped
the
with.
right.
To the
Stop
right.
touching my
Am I
balls.
right or you're right?
You're right. It's always the patient's right.
Oh,
That one right
see?
there. Oh, you keep
Right
moving
there?
your head.
You want to put it in for me?
No.
How's that?
Good.
Is that
Looks
better?
good. Yeah, looks good. Looks good on you.
My ball fell off. It was a green one, so it's but it's still flashing. That's the good news. And again, thank you to effing Florida Man for providing me with literally hours of entertainment.
Those are pretty cool.
Who knew that you could buy little flashy things, little flashy balls, and stick them on your face?
They're gonna fall again. Your balls are gonna fall.
I keep hearing
No.
one fall, but it really isn't falling.
No, it's just dangling and hitting your chest.
You'd think at my age they would have already fallen.
Here,
Let's.
I'll get it.
You're welcome. Well, technically, that wasn't really a.
Yeah, it was.
Not really, technically. I mean, that was a fact of life.
True.
So we'll start at the top, the very important news. And no, I'm not talking about the Omicron
It's what
variant.
It's what I discovered last night.
Yeah, I did.
I
I fear that our little Dave is growing up, Ron. This is
Uh-oh.
frightening me.
What did he find out?
Damn it, my ball fell
it
off
doesn't
again.
surprise me.
It's the other one.
But it's
Well,
still-
he was where were you on the interweb that you discovered this this trend?
My brother sent me some non-sexual page of Reddit, some goofy car thing,
Oh,
and I was
Reddit.
Yeah, Reddit, and I was on there, and so of course I wanted to look at the boob. So I
Wait a minute, I thought you
All
didn't.
right.
I thought you just were dreaming of your shop these days, no longer female breasts.
your balls are
My
dropping
balls are
all
just
over.
there.
Hey, your balls just hit
They're
the desk.
everywhere. Sorry.
So how I got there is not important, but I got there and I see there's a couple,
Right.
and apparently this man likes to share pictures of his wife naked with everybody else
And he is making bank.
because
He is
what-
making bank.
and because what they do is they have an Amazon link
Right.
amongst
Yep.
other things, and you can buy.
Listen to Ron.
And Ron's
Yep.
like, "Yep, boss, yep, right there,
They
got
sure
me an
do.
account."
Yep.
I don't have an account for that.
No, but
I'm
it was
just-
amazing.
I'm
You know what?
thinking I'm an entrepreneur,
At-
dude. I'm thinking.
At
You
least
should.
act somewhat surprised, Ron.
And believe it or not, I'm trying to get to the point.
Uh-huh. All right.
I'm
Go.
trying.
You're welcome.
So apparently, these folks, you can get on Amazon and you can buy underwear, and you buy underwear.
Used.
You
No.
well,
Oh, no. You're see.
This is a little.
This
bit
is a
more
different site, Ron. Good
sophisticated.
grief.
God dang it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it ends up that way.
Right.
So you buy this underwear
Mm-hmm.
and from Amazon, and it gets sent to the woman,
Right.
and she wears it, and she provides you not one, not two, but 3 different instances where she's wearing the underwear you purchased, and then she sends them to you.
You see,
American
And-
capitalists.
American capitalism. It's out there. It's
I just have a question. I have a
Yes.
question. Me in the first row. I have a question.
yes, you right there.
Thank you,
With the
thank
funny
you.
look on your face.
What do you get from that?
I don't know.
That's.
Remember, there was a guy when I lived
Is
in
it
Nashville.
is it a smell?
I'm sure that encompasses the.
I hope
interest.
so. I mean, because the other, no. So in
You're
Nashville,
not like sucking on them, are you?
That's beyond me because I did not.
do I already have to
I'm
mute
just-
you?
No.
And,
Are
I'm
you?
just curious.
Have
dude.
you been
I-
drinking already?
No. No.
This is
no,
what
no, no.
surprised me. I thought to myself, why would you pay X amount of dollars for the underwear, and then I
Why are some people into feet?
Oh, don't
is-
change the subject now.
No.
We're still
I'm just
talking
saying.
about
No,
underwear.
I know we are, but I mean, of all the things you're going to be into, why underpants for, and then feet is in there as well. It's like, when was the last time you smelled a shoe and went, damn, good to have me some of that?
Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder.
It's not in the feet. That's for damn sure.
Somebody be holding something they shouldn't be.
but,
Jeez.
come on, but it's interesting. So yeah, you can buy.
People
you
are
can
strange.
Buy this woman clothes, and I stopped after that. But there's another couple of paragraphs beyond. So apparently there's some more things you can do. But you can, yeah.
And do you know, Dave, they're probably making really freaking good money.
Huge.
If you,
Huge
If
money.
you
All
just
right.
watch a few TikToks, you'll learn that there are people selling their
Jeez.
their undies on there.
I love it.
There is an example right
And
here on the
socks.
screen of an example of that. Some woman, I think she's in Canada, wearing said underpants with a little note that says, "Chris, love Ashley." So apparently you can get them sent to you with her holding up. That's the equivalent of a kidnap victim holding up today's newspaper. So you see,
And
they've,
that's proving that your personalized
right.
underwear that she
Even
had,
though you could take that, in Photoshop and put anybody's name there.
like you did with the $1.25.
I can neither confirm nor deny that. However, it does appear, if you look at the Twitter feed of Real Brad Staggs, that the Dollar General store has gone up about a quarter. Just saying. But yeah, there are weird people out there, and they will buy all forms of anything
Okay.
that you want to sell.
You
I
want
still don't understand feet.
Sell that shirt that you're wearing.
Dude, people are selling socks. you
Are they-
worn socks. Women's worn socks.
I don't get it.
It's just
Guarantee you'll never hear this conversation over on Pat Gray.
No, you won't.
Well, then
But
again,
that's
you
why
maybe. Who
people
knows?
move over to us. to
That's
listen.
right.
Yeah.
You want to go for that straight laced crap over there? You go right ahead with Pat and Keith.
we get the real stuff.
Yeah, we're not afraid to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, can I vent my spleen a little bit?
Oh,
On
can
some-
you please? I don't
Yes.
even know what
Sure.
you just said,
This
but
is
do it.
this is current events too, but I didn't want to forget it because I
I
didn't.
think
write-
Brad hurt his spleen.
I
I
didn't
did.
write.
I heard something in me. It's
It's on the wrong side.
he's already felt me up. I think it's whatever the hell it is.
Spleen's on the other side.
Yeah. Okay. What is it you're
Oh, that's
venting?
good to know.
yeah,
Thank you,
see,
Mr.
I
Biden.
did- yeah. So, and I'm gonna preface my statement because I'm not
Oh, good.
on either side. I have my opinions, but I just wanted to
For
point
those
out.
of you keeping track, it is 11 minutes past the hour. We should be done with this
No.
story at about 27 minutes
And
past.
action.
This one actually needs to be discussed because it's
Okay.
the Roe versus Wade, the Supreme Court stuff. Have you
Oh,
guys been
boy.
talking about it?
Let's go from panties to abortion.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not really deep dive. It's
Good.
It's an odd thing that people should be aware of. I think.
Yes. All
So
right.
what I wanted to point out was Justice Sotomayor.
Yes.
And I'm going to paraphrase this unless you can find the quote. When
Mm-hmm.
she talked about the stench of I mean, she said of the political ramifications
Glad
of
you
the
cleared
case.
that up. Yes.
You don't remember? Did you didn't hear that?
I did
you-
not, but it doesn't surprise me.
So she spoke of will this decision have a stench of politicalization on the Supreme Court?
Yes. Everything does.
Right, but in her case, it was if you overturned it. She was pimping for this would overturn.
Yeah, she actually made the case for the other side.
Right, but so what she's saying is that there can be no controversial cases in the Supreme Court because there'd be a stench of something. I mean, isn't that a chicken shit way? See if you can find that while I'm blabbering. Find that clip. What?
Actually, I have a better one.
No, you don't. You
I do.
So, my problem.
I'm
with,
going to save him from himself now,
No,
Ron.
nope.
Okay.
Just say it. I expected you hard-hitting news journalistic radio types to have listened to the court yesterday.
I'm going to wait until they make some decision, and then
No, you should listen to it because the
arguments.
arguments are illustrative of what's going on in the United States right now. The woman who was arguing for Roe versus Wade, and I apologize, I can't remember where she's from. But I think she's had the solicitor.
oh yeah,
Well, the Solicitor General from Mississippi was there,
right.
and then there were two others, and I don't remember what organization they were from. But the woman that was for the supporting Roe versus Wade,
Yes.
came out with a lot of hoopla about women's choice,
Yes.
about we need to make sure. Well, she used the word person about 80% of the time about the abortions.
Right.
Persons getting abortions.
Right.
Persons being persecuted.
Right.
Persons. I thought, that's odd.
It's not odd. That's woke speech.
Yes. But I just thought it was interesting the amount of times she's talked about the poor getting let out of the situation where poor person, if you didn't have access to abortion, it affected poor people,
Right.
people of color,
Okay.
people of this.
Yeah.
Well, what I just wanted to hear from her was the accountability of how you got into that position in the first place.
Abstinence has been proven effective 100% of the time.
Yeah, it's with all of the things. So what they talked
In
about.
conclusion,
Yeah.
we're 4 minutes in now.
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay.
I'm around done. I'm disappointed in you guys that you didn't watch any of the proceedings or hear any.
I didn't say I didn't watch them. I just said I wasn't making any comments on it until after
You
the
didn't
whole
hear
show was
Sotomayor
done.
talk about the stench, meaning that
I heard part of what she said, but I haven't heard the whole thing. Therefore, I'm not going to expound upon it.
you should listen to it.
I'll be honest with you, I haven't watched any of it.
I don't really like it, but I thought it's just like when we have to watch CNN or
You're
MSNBC.
going to watch it so they don't have to.
But it's really scary how it's okay to support women's right to choice, body integrity. I think she used the word body integrity a number of times.
Right.
But those crackheads can turn around and say, well, no, it's for the common good to get your vaccination.
My body, my choice, until it has to do with the vaccine.
Right.
Then it's your body, my choice.
So that wasn't too long and drawn out.
That's the most hypocritical thing I've ever heard.
It is.
It's horrible.
But
And
it's been that way. I mean, that's what they want to do. They want to tell, the progressive left, want to tell everyone else what to do, where to do it, when they can do it, who they should do it with.
and that's why I brought it up.
And I don't want anybody to tell me what the hell I can do wherever I want to do it, as long as I'm not pissing on your rights.
Well,
Get out of me.
And so we've got a Supreme Court justice
mine.
talking about the stench of this controversial, decision. But isn't that what they get paid for? That's the whole point of them.
Yes,
being
generally
there.
you do go to a court when there is a disagreement over opinion and or law.
Right. So we've got a liberal-minded judge who says, "Oh no, we can't do this because there's the stench."
Yeah,
The most important thing, and I'm sorry, I'll say this. The most important thing is they keep bringing up constitutionality.
Last time I checked, there wasn't anything in the Constitution about.
Excuse me. And right, I don't get that. So are there any lawyers listening? Are there those three listeners? Does anybody have any legal experience?
We've got the
Because-
gays covered. We've got the transes covered. We've got the Disney workers covered. We have, I bet we do have a lawyer. We have a guy who sounds like he has a lawyer's name.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So what's
we have
your-
a lot of people who are Facebook lawyers. Those
Yes.
count, right?
Oh, good. We're going to need them to weigh in.
Do we have any YouTube certified lawyers? We don't want any of these imitation people.
I believe that
And then some
Soto-
people who slept in a Holiday Inn Express.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
Those people.
good.
Yes.
I believe, but I'm not sure, that Sotomayor actually said something about the Constitution, but that the female lawyer that who was arguing for Roe versus Wade, she brought it up a number of times about the constitutional aspects of this. Who in the flippity flip ever put that in the Constitution?
No one that
There's no one. So how do they get away with that?
it might be hidden somewhere in the pages. I mean,
Yeah.
there are a lot of pages of the Constitution.
Yeah. So that's it.
I
just
mean,
thought
what is
that
the Constitution, like 230 pages?
Oh, the damn sure doesn't say anything about
Is it
Woman's
230 or
right.
240, Ron?
230,
I don't
240,
know.
whatever it takes. I just thought it was interesting that they keep bringing up.
600 pages?
No, who said
Nobody.
that? Oh, okay. The law
See, there's
I
4
thought-
pages to the Constitution.
Yeah,
It's really not all that complicated.
short. But so
It's,
that's my problem with what's going on now. Is a Supreme Court justice can talk about controversial cases, and she can say it's part of the Constitution.
You know what she needs? Oh, no, not that.
One over
Not that. She
over
doesn't
her.
need that.
over her face, so she
She,
can sleep well.
I don't know if you could smother somebody with a My Pillow pillow or
No, I
not.
didn't say smother. I just said over her face because she's kind of ugly.
Well, that's what the masks are for.
Oh yeah.
I was walking through Kroger yesterday and I saw a mask for sale and it said, "Love others, wear a mask." And I thought, there's a punchline in there somewhere. It's like,
There has to be.
there are some people who, if they want to love others, are going to have to wear a mask. But that was just, those are the things I think about when I'm walking through Kroger.
I saw one in Home Depot where it was what are the little scales, the sparkly things that the go-go dancer dresses, the 60s, those, with the sparkly dresses.
The fringe.
It
A
wasn't,
Surrey. It's called a Surrey.
but they look like
Yes,
fish
little
scales.
tiny, they're little fish scale. They're called Surreys, and they wear them. And that's why the song "The Surrey" would buy a fringe on top.
Dave.
The Surreys, Ron.
Okay.
The woman had a mask on, made of those overlapping plastic.
See?
little discs.
See, I liked her already. I don't care what she looks like. I like her because that's,
As long as she knows that it doesn't.
of course, she does.
She was an employee, so I hope so.
Of course, she does.
Pretty funny.
But let's say that you did want to, I don't know, put a pillow over somebody's face. I can't.
Just for fun.
I cannot condone it. However, I, having been married at least twice, can understand it.
Just for fun, though.
Yes, just for fun. It's just until they give you the safe word. What's supercalifra? Give it to all of me. Give it to me.
What's the safe word?
Where's-
Supercalifragilistic.
No, the safe word I wanted now. But if you, I know you can't smother anybody with a slipper. You could after I've worn them.
Those fluffy.
I started to say you can sell them bad boys.
I'm going to start selling my slippers.
Yeah.
I wonder how much I could get for them. $10? More
Yeah,
or less than I paid for them.
Yes.
What do you think?
Are you going to do the pillow thing?
I am doing the pillow thing. That's the beauty of it.
Now you're taking after me. You're
No, I'm
drawing
doing
it
the
out.
pillow thing.
Hurry up.
It's all at mypillow.com. I mean, who wants to just read a bunch of blah 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 from some marketing company somewhere? Nobody wants to do that. I want to tell you about what I think about when I'm wearing my slippers.
All right, hit me.
With what? Hit you with what? Are you like now chiming in on what I just asked you? That was like 5 minutes ago.
Was there a question?
Was there a question?
No. Britney Spears is
He
40.
said he wanted to tell me what he thinks about.
I asked you if I could get more or less than what I paid for them if I used my slippers.
No, we moved on.
No, we didn't.
We-
Ron never answered me.
Ron
Okay.
and I did.
You could probably get less for them.
Wow. That's not very encouraging. Let me just tell you, they feel good on your feet, especially after you've been standing on your feet for hours at a time, bending over. And
Is that how you hurt your ribs?
I'll do it. No one else is listening. Go to mypillow.com, use the promo code Mojo50, and you can be wearing my slippers as well, but they're really not my slippers. They'll be your slippers at that point. Now, if you go over to the Twitters and you use the hashtag What I Learned Today, we've got to, Ron, this is a challenge. We've got to get on we're on there, but we've got to get going on like Parler and all that because
Yeah.
now I'm feeling guilty.
You're not on
Apparently,
Parler yet?
I'm
Getter
feeling
is
guilty.
the big one.
All right, so you know what? Here's what happened: is that everybody switched over, and we can't let them win. Everybody switched over to Parler, and we were doing fine. And then
And then they yanked.
and they
Parler.
yanked it, and everybody has PTSD from that. And
Because
No.
they need their fix.
well, no,
With
it's
their
the
social
problem is everybody moved. Successful transition pretty much over to Parler, and then when Google and
they-
Apple yanked the ability for most people, matter of fact, anybody to get
Yeah,
there when they
because
pulled it
they
off.
pulled the app.
Yeah,
Right.
you couldn't get the
Right.
app on
So
the-
now we're all concerned. I believe this is a collective thought that we're concerned. You move over to another platform, they'll just yank that one after you've gone through the bells and hoops and whistles and all that.
No, I'm sure it wouldn't happen.
So-
Just like Dorsey leaving Twitter, I'm sure
Right.
that's this new guy's
Sure.
going to be kind and gentle.
You mean
and free.
Aguamar Paso Vinamarkinsons?
Yeah.
He's a guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, on the Twitter, use the hashtag What I Learned Today to be seen. Tony in Ohio, I love Pillow Talk from Real Brad Staggs. His My Pillow spots are entertaining.
Oh yeah.
See?
You mean today's or every other?
Not necessarily.
Yeah. Okay.
B from the SAV, how did you get to Home Depot buying sparkles for go-go dancers? How did you get to? I was
He
listening
said, "I was
intently
listening
and still can't
intently, but
track.
Still can't track.
Don't bother tracking. It'll
I've already
just-
gotten the
Here,
text
let me
message
explain
that
it.
says
No.
he
Yeah.
was trying to say sequins, not Surreys.
There's
Oh,
Surreys.
sequins. Is that what they are? The little
There's
Sequins,
Surreys.
yeah,
I
sequins.
thought sequins were
Come
a
on,
jewel.
Ron. They're Surreys.
Hey, man, it's the text messages coming in.
As a big Boston fan, you should know they're Surreys.
Oh.
The Martian variant. Let's play a game. How many topics can they fit into 5 minutes? Don't ask that
a
question.
lot.
Here is one that should. Here's a conversation starter for your next party.
Oh.
Alec Baldwin.
Oh, I didn't put my finger on the trigger.
What a doofball.
This is the interview with George Stephanopoulos. We'll just take it a piece at a time. But when we get to the magic gun, that's when we'll really get into it. This is the first interview he did, and he did it with Snuffleupagus over at ABC.
She was someone who was loved by everyone who worked with and liked by everyone who worked with and admired.
Until I killed her. I may have added that part.
It's the worst day of my life.
Right. He somehow made this about him now.
I mean, even now, I find it hard to believe that.
Okay, actually, I can totally relate to what he's saying there. Because you do. After somebody dies that you've been very close to,
Yep.
it's
hard to believe.
your brain just doesn't let you.
Your brain
Especially-
doesn't process that you
Right.
will not see them again.
Right.
Well,
So-
especially since you're the one that killed them.
Yes. And I believe there's some cognitive disconnect in his brain.
It just doesn't seem real to me.
You haven't said much in public since that tragic accident. Why speak out now?
Because his lawyers cleared him.
I think the big question, and the one you must have asked yourself 1,000
Damage
times,
control.
how could this have happened?
Right.
You've described it as a 1 in a trillion shot, and the gun was in your hand. How do you come to terms with that?
And
It wasn't in the script. for the trigger to be pulled.
Well, the trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't pull the trigger.
So you
Yeah, I know. I heard
The
that.
trigger wasn't
I
pulled.
heard that this morning.
I didn't pull the trigger.
They should put that guy should instantly lose every liberty he has for being such a. He's almost the biggest scumbag.
Bullshit.
You can't. It's the magic gun.
Yeah.
It's the argument they've been using forever that guns just it's like SUVs. They drive themselves through crowds of people, and guns jump up off the table and shoot people.
Did Stephanopoulos let him get away with it?
Let's find out together.
never pulled the trigger.
No. I would never point a gun at anyone and pull a trigger at them. Never.
Would never. I would never do that. Not I didn't do that.
Right. That's a good
Again.
point. Good point. Good
I mean,
point.
he said I didn't pull the trigger, but then when Stephanopoulos
Right.
clarified.
No,
Go ahead.
I would never do that.
What did you think?
And you know what? I think he believes that. Although, I'm willing to bet you, and it probably has already been done, that if you were to look at the number of movies that he's done, in particular, it was one of the Mission Impossibles where I don't remember the part he was playing, but he pulls out the gun and he's aiming it at somebody.
He was one of the bosses or the.
Yeah, but he turned out to be a bad guy, didn't he? Can't remember.
I remember the movie, but
So I remember thinking he's holding the gun stupid, first of all. But I'll bet you there is footage of him aiming a gun and pulling a trigger. Out of all the films he's done.
oh yeah,
So
Happened. How did a real bullet get on that set?
I have no idea. Someone put a live bullet in a gun. A bullet that wasn't even supposed to be on the property.
that's a question you should be asking yourself as a producer
who's
of
in
the film.
charge of this thing?
That would
Oh,
be,
wait a minute, it's
producer,
me.
yeah. He has this is
How do you respond to actors like George Clooney who say that every time they were handed a gun, they checked it themselves? Your emotions are so clearly so right there.
funny how we didn't get that answer. This interview is airing tonight, I think, on ABC.
Well, I would not watch it just on the basis if I got every answer I needed. I didn't pull the trigger. You are a lying scumbag, and you
He
did.
probably believes he didn't. He probably, I mean, some people are actually capable of, we've probably all done it to ourselves at one point or another. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done that. I
Right,
didn't.
I couldn't have done. I couldn't
I
have
couldn't
done
have
that
done that.
because I would never do anything.
Right. And I'm sure he never meant to kill anybody.
Right.
I mean, who
Oh,
would?
I don't think he did. Dr. Free Range Prisoner says he was on a film set. Was there not a camera running at all?
Yeah, good
they
point.
call it that.
I was just thinking about
The good news is I think it's the FBI who confiscated all of the equipment and hard drives and
that.
computers.
We're safe.
And
Thanks. We'll get.
yeah.
They'll get to the bottom of this.
And I don't know if they were using the digital cameras or if they're using film cameras, but obviously if they're using digital, they've already seen the footage 100 times or more, and they know whether or not he pulled the trigger. We'll discuss it more, further, upon further examination, that and many more exciting things, not to include used underwear.
Because Alec Baldwin's very important.
Or maybe not. Coming up next, the Daily Mojo.
Happily promoting the 4Fs. Freedom.
Clear. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Is today Gwen's birthday? I did not know that.
Brittany's birthday. No one else can have a
Gwen and Brittany have the same birthday. There we go. Much better. My small green balls are flashing again. And that's important. I've trained with single action pistols for over a decade. Single action pistols do not shoot on their own. Now, nope. And that was a single action.
Yeah, it was a revolver, right?
Yep. Yeah, and not only that, but it would be hard to accidentally pull the trigger because they require quite a bit of pressure on the trigger. Oh, yeah, I didn't see Peter's tweet this morning. I didn't see Peter's tweeter. There it is. No, it did. Founding fathers did discuss abortion. They said that after the quickening, it was murder. Quickening means after mom feels the baby move.
Yeah.
Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific on Mojo 50 Radio.
The Daily Mojo.
Let's see, here was it, Saddle Effing Tramp. I have trained with single-action pistols for over a decade. Single-action pistols do not shoot on their own. Nor do most weapons. We've all seen guns hit the floor. Some of them have fired. I guess if a gun was cocked
And it landed.
landed just right, or there was enough jarring to it on the floor,
Well,
it could fire, right?
Right, but I don't know the era because I don't have that kind of background, but if they started with single action.
That's what it was.
So single action the hammer doesn't stay cocked.
Right.
So in
You
that
have to-
case, it couldn't. It couldn't.
Right, yeah. You'd have to put so much pressure on the trigger, and that's the other reason. It's not a hair trigger on those.
Well, it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is the guy that's just talking about single action, it doesn't stay cocked.
Right.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Where a double action. So on a semi-automatic pistol, a modern semi-automatic, the hammer is down
Right.
against the firing pin.
Right.
When you pull the trigger the first time, that's double action. It goes all the way back and all
Locks.
the way forward. No.
Oh,
all the
right.
way back and all the way forward, and then it's half. But it hits the firing pin. So first shot, bam, and then it goes back. So the first time the hammer goes all the way back, and the second in consecutive shots, it goes halfway.
Okay.
So if it's
All right. Without knowing exactly what gun, and I think they've named it before, but I don't have one in front of me.
and you see it a lot of times on westerns where I point the gun. I mean it. I really mean it now.
Right.
As if that's a.
Yeah.
But so.
Well, it's movies. That's exciting. Oh, and by the way, at some point we are going to discuss the.
Ron's not because he left. He's done. He quit.
Oh, no, I know exactly why. We'll see if we can get the answer out of him. And I'm not sure if we have Cesar this morning or not. Aha. Stand by, Cesar. I just got a text from him.
From Cesar?
Ron is having some
Intestinal problem?
issues this morning, and he's on some new medication. Not kidding. He's on some new medication that's upsetting his stomach. So if he does bolt from the picture, that's why.
That's why.
So
Okay.
he's off.
We know.
He's off tossing his cookies somewhere. And Cesar, we'll get to you. If I had the ability to answer you here, I would. But since I don't, I can't, and I won't. So just hang on. Just hold your horses.
Yeah.
You'll get across the border along with the rest of them.
Damn it.
Oblivion flickering. After a thorough investigation, the FBI has determined that Alec Baldwin did not, in fact, pull the trigger. Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone gunman. Sounds about right. And as I was saying beforehand, that we will get into the nanobot story along with the vaccine tracker thing,
Okay.
which I never thought I'd really look at that seriously, but
You
we will.
did too. You thought about that.
I
from the
thought
get-
about it, but it still sounds cray-cray. But if when you see what people I think in Sweden are doing now, you'll go, all right, we're done. So with Alec Baldwin, he's up there now. Is it possible that as he's drawing, because he was cross-drawing, because they in previous interviews, the AD or the prop master was talking about it was a cross draw, so he was pistol on his revolver on his left side, drawing with his right hand.
Yeah.
Is it possible physically that the no, it really isn't. I'm going to say that as the gun's coming out, catches on the jacket, cocks itself, but no, because it's going the wrong direction.
Yeah. But it doesn't fire until the trigger's pulled.
Right.
Unless there's physical damage.
Well, and let's remember that Alec Baldwin comes from a family who is, and I'm not talking about the Baldwin brothers. I'm talking about his wife, Hilaria, who is aptly named. Here she is in a segment on the Today Show when she is in her fake accent, acting like a fake person who doesn't know the fake English language. Listen to this.
We have very few ingredients. We have tomatoes. We have
Who is this
how do you
wife?
say it in cucumbers. We have
Did you see hear what she said?
Did she say, how do you say it?
How do you say in English? Cucumbers. She was born in Boston.
No way.
She has this habit of putting on this fake accent when she does interviews. Sometimes it appears, sometimes it doesn't. Her name's Hilaria.
Oh, she's
American.
I don't know anything.
She's from Boston.
What does she claim to be?
Spanish. I think she has family, or she says she had family in Spain, and she's come over from Spain. It's just
So that what
so
we
the-
just saw was her faking.
Yes,
She didn't know how
right.
you say
She knew how to
cucumber?
say cucumber.
Well, she said it.
we have very few ingredients. We have tomatoes. We have how do you say it in cucumbers. We have
How do you say in English?
How do you say? I mean, how many of us have this? How you say in English? Writing, write with the how you say?
La pluma.
Penis. No,
Penis,
pen.
penis, pen.
Ron, we're glad you're back.
I didn't know that.
Thanks,
We're
man.
glad you're back.
That's ridiculous.
We did.
Ooh, that was close.
Now I don't like the
Now.
Baldwin's.
I know the whole family is crazy. But since we do have Ron back, Cesar was standing by. He said he couldn't get through. I explained to everyone that you possibly were puking your guts out because of some
I was.
new
Cesar,
medical
if he's
treatment.
listening, he can call back in.
All right, so we'll see if we can get to Cesar in a moment. But you're okay, right?
I'm fine.
Do you have that taste of vomit in your mouth now?
Yes.
He's going to get up and run, isn't he?
I'm actually responding to a text about getting him back in.
Okay, so I
Getting
can't.
back in. Okay, I won't make fun of you.
I need to know when he's going in
least.
so I can go on my diatribe or I wait.
Right. Well, we'll do that. But as far as Alec Baldwin and the gun are concerned,
How do we even talk about that anymore? I mean, after that that trailer for his interview.
is it yes? And I'm the same thing. And who was it? Oh yeah, it was a 6% Si Se Podway.
Si se puede.
It must be nice to be able to shoot and thus murder someone in front of God and everybody, and then not only walk but get paid handsomely for an interview with dramatic music. I did think it.
I mean, isn't that
It seems
pure Hollywood? And they're circling the wagons to save this
it
guy.
has to be a lot for me to say it seemed tasteless.
Yeah.
I mean,
Think how her family feels.
that's
All her
exactly.
friends.
Well, he did have a meeting with her husband and her son right afterward.
Oh yeah, for
and,
sure to pay off.
Right. I'm sure there was. Do I have evidence? No. Is it my opinion? Yes. That there was a handsome check written.
Oh yeah.
and-
I'll take care of you.
Yeah.
This is-
Which you got money. Now, money doesn't buy happiness, but it sure does grease the skid.
Well,
Contrast that with the video of Ashley Babbitt.
I was just thinking he's going to talk about Ashley Babbitt. No, it's legitimate. I agree.
She got offed right there on pretty much national television, national social media.
And no question about finger on the trigger there.
Nope.
Yeah.
And this guy he's out there walking
Yeah.
because what? There was an imminent threat? I don't think so.
Anybody who's ever been in that kind of environment would call BS on that.
Yes.
It's,
And her widower has still not been contacted by anybody. It's in Nick Cersei's new movie. It's called Constitution. Shoot. His new movie is called.
I don't know. Is it about the particulars or is
Yeah, it's about. He just did a documentary. I'm blanking on the name, but you can watch it now. It was released on Thanksgiving, and I have not seen it yet, to be in all honesty. But I've seen the clips of it, and it looks amazing. And I spoke with him over on WBAP. I actually had that interview. I was going to play that yesterday, but I didn't.
Huh.
So maybe do that tomorrow.
he looks into it? I know
He does. Oh yeah, he has. He's looked into it extensively, and came to some interesting conclusions. How are we doing there, Ron?
I'm sure. He's got a phone up to his
Yeah,
ear.
the phone system is, I guess it's offline. I'm going to try to get the Skype up real quick.
All right. Rebel Patriot says reports are that the scene did not call for a firearm. Why did he have one in the first place? What I read and having been in the industry, I believe I can speak with some degree of credibility. As our director of global security, he has actually been security on a movie set.
Yeah.
So he, again, can speak with a certain level of credibility, despite the whole panties thing. There were, I think, 3 shots called for. I think one was a close-up of his face, of Baldwin's face. The other was a close-up of the gun being drawn. And the third was, there were like 3 close-ups. So, who knows? The bottom line is the guy, I mean.
We know.
There were witnesses there who claimed they saw Mr. Baldwin shoot this woman, the cinematographer. And it's kind of tough when you've got a room full of witnesses and likely some footage of the event as well. So.
And I don't have a personal grudge, but as another human looking at this thing, that guy's got to go to. I mean, he's got to be held accountable. There's no question that he shot that woman, and I've said this before. One gun safety class would have kept that. Would that mean that woman was alive? I mean, if Baldwin.
Yes. And here we go. See, I knew we were going to get into this guy. Let's be frank in PA. Poor description. In a single action, the only function of the trigger is to release a manually cocked hammer. In a double action, the trigger itself can cock the hammer and release it in a single pull.
Okay.
So like I said, anytime it's that and crown molding, I've learned never ever to explain crown molding on the air. I tried to do a segment on DIY doing crown molding, and for whatever reason, I cannot get it straight in my head. I mean, I could do it, but then I try to explain me doing it, and they had to actually axe a whole segment on doing crown molding with me because my eyes were closed 90% of the time because I was thinking about how you do it. So those are the 2 things I try not to get into because I will open my mouth and prove people right that I'm an ignorant fool.
That usually happens to many of us. But
See?
that is the way those pistols operate. Now, we say those pistols, but I don't know about what he had.
It was an 1880s style.
Which I don't know diddly about. I'm talking about modern firearms. So anything I speak of is, hey, where's that?
It's a leftover from Tata's Tuesday.
Oh, cool.
I'm guessing you'll let us know there, Ron.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
So yes, that's the way the modern pistols work. I don't know what he used. What are we talking about next?
Researchers have warned now that cold weather can cause blood clots and heart attacks. And you see,
I'll believe that.
Isn't
Okay.
that convenient?
Oh, you think they're segueing?
Are
right
you
into-
kidding?
Well, I
Isn't
don't know.
it amazing that suddenly, when we have the arrival of the Omicron variant, that now in the UK they are forecasting weather warnings across the country. The cold weather can have an impact on your health, according to said researchers, that during cold weather, people are more likely to suffer from serious conditions like heart attacks and blood clots. You know, the same stuff that has been reported from the jab.
Except
Weird.
I see that even a small drop in temperature can lead to. Does it say why? Because your body maintains homeostasis.
I'm sorry. I don't think that anyone has ever witnessed me doing that. So there's no proof.
There's no proof. So your sudden changes in temperature, stress.
Sudden changes in thermal temperature, cause thermal stress for the body, which has to work harder to maintain its constant temperature.
So what they're getting at is a lot of older men have heart attacks in the winter because they're out shoveling snow.
Which I thought my dad was going to go that way, and he didn't.
Yeah, but chilly weather might make blood vessels constrict, which is true, but it happens every year.
Yes. See,
And-
when you read between the lines on this, it is that when you start seeing people having gotten their 5th booster, whatever.
Yeah, before you can buy groceries.
Right, exactly. It wasn't the booster shot. It wasn't the vaccine that got them. It was the cold weather.
It caused their vessels to constrict,
Right.
and the plaque broke off. They had a
Right.
stroke, and
Exactly.
It's the cold weather.
Right.
Wear a sweater. And
Study authors from a hospital in Nice, France,
Nice.
that too, suggested that respiratory tract infections are more common in winter. They might make patients more vulnerable to blood clots. They also suggested that chilly weather might make the blood vessels constrict, making it more likely that those blood clots will form. So try not to draw any connection between the blood clots and the and vaccine. That's what
I'm
they're
going to call
trying to
BS
say.
on that because when you constrict your blood vessels, that's the size of a red blood cell is minuscule. It's tiny. Just because you don't think the body can figure it out that the blood vessels get smaller, less blood goes through. That's a bunch of BS. Go ahead.
Are you suggesting that their bodies are smart?
Yeah.
Are you suggesting that the bodies know how to take care of themselves? Well, not after they've had the vaccine. Researchers from Sweden, from Lund University in Sweden, found the average number of heart attacks per day was significantly higher when the temperature, when the weather was cold compared to when the weather was warm.
But wait a minute. That's like that. That's bad science. Which we've had a boat.
It's not weird science. It's bad science.
Bad science. So you can't say that without telling
They
why.
just did.
Yeah. Well,
it is thought the risk of heart attacks is higher in cold weather because the body responds to feeling chilly by restricting superficial blood vessels.
Well, yeah.
This decreases how warm the skin is and increases blood flow through your arteries. Which ones take the blood out and which ones in? The arteries go out.
Arteries go out. Veins go in.
In.
Return it to the heart.
Veins
Arteries
in.
take blood.
Arteries out. Veins in.
Yes.
Okay. Artery begins with A, so it's going to be first. Has to go out first. Veins back. All right.
Yeah. Except for your pulmonary system, it's different. Your lungs.
Try not to ever put my pulmonary system out there. People laugh at it.
Yes.
The body also begins to shiver. Your heart rate increases to keep you warm. And this, of course, is extra stress on your heart. So when you see the spate of blood clots and heart attacks this winter, it is not the vaccine. It is, in fact, cold weather.
Are we going to listen to her?
Yeah, actually, I thought we would. It's funny when you said that. I was just looking at Twitter at Robin's tweet. Single action. I told you. I warned you.
Brad, are you able to turn on your phone system?
Sure.
Go ahead and turn it on. Let's see what's happening.
Would you stand by, everybody? Hold on.
Ooh, I get to do technical stuff.
Hold on.
I'm going to touch the computer.
Talk amongst yourself here.
I'm going to
reach around to the backside and push on that little opening you find.
Oh, it's not on?
No. Just keep searching for it. You'll find the hole. It just feels like a little.
I know,
it's
Mac.
It's not a deep hole.
I know, Mac.
It's just a slight indentation.
I did it.
You didn't put your finger all the way through it, did you?
I did.
That would hurt.
I did.
Now reach into the front and slide that thing around.
It has to do its thing.
No, I mean the two things in front of it. The two yes, make sure that those are slid up. Make sure those are in the green position. All right. So with this, and by the way, this is probably a good time to bring up my love affair with Apple. Since on this particular iMac, since having upgraded to the latest operating system, you can now press the on button in this particular computer, which I believe,
and it just appears.
It's taken.
No, what I'm saying is that it will. Let's see. This is 49 minutes past the hour. We hit it about 48 past the hour. So it maybe in the next 5 minutes will have booted.
Oh, you're making.
So yes,
making it known it sucks.
Right. Yes, it does. Even though I do happen to love Apple, maybe don't leave me. I love you. I don't care who you cheated on with me. Just don't leave me.
What is she saying here?
Here's Kamala.
And for all those who have yet to arrive. As one candle lights many,
right?
May the hope we share tonight ignite the hope throughout our world.
And now, the piece de résistance from Nice, France.
Oh, God.
Actually, this is not, I don't know where she is, but she is about to introduce the president. And in said introduction, she drops a whammadetchy.
For generations to come.
Here we go.
And now it is my honor to introduce a man of deep faith.
Deep faith.
Oh, we're talking about that later.
Deep faith.
I work with him every day.
No, you don't. You're in the same building, but
no, maybe not even the same building.
Right, that's true. They do, yeah.
And he is guided by the light always.
Is there a song in there somewhere?
Blinded by the light.
A leader who deeply understands the Jewish faith.
Uh-huh.
How? Who? Huh?
Beats me.
And stands with the Jewish people of our nation and our world.
Until they need it. And at that point, he's like,
Yeah,
other
let him eat
thing,
cake.
Jew who?
Our president, Joe Biden.
Now, I'd like to point out the masked president is hugging the unmasked vice president. I'm still trying to figure out how this works. So you come up with the mask, you hug the person who's unmasked. Isn't that a no-no?
Well, yeah, and then you're sharing the air. So
Right.
She's still
She's
breathing.
blowing whatever she blows.
She's blowing
all over him.
Ooh,
and he's wearing the mask, which is almost around his nose, so it's not really filtering any of the schmutz that she's breathing out.
Right.
And so he's getting the full benefit of her breath. And then he does, to his credit, reach up and remove the mask properly, which is something most people do not do. He reaches behind each strap and removes it by the strap.
Oh, yeah.
And
puts it down on the dirty.
Puts it down on the dirty desk. Please sit. Listen. Please sit. Please sit. Oh, how much did they pay these people?
Good.
How much did they pay these people to be? Yeah, if they would just,
shucks.
if they would whip pan around just to see his paid people in the back with the applause signs, it's like a game show.
Yeah.
It's like the game show signs. They've got these things flashing. Applaud for the president. Applaud for the president.
Thank you.
This is a room full of idiots.
Ron wants us to get the phone thing going.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I got it. Hang on just a second.
I figured if I just tap danced around long enough, he'd finally get to it.
Thank you.
Please sit. Please sit. I don't deserve it. Wow.
My name is Joe
Boy, you heard when they turned off that applause sign, didn't you?
Biden. I am Jill's husband.
That's such a new
As
one.
I'm known here in Washington and many other places.
Yeah.
Happy Hanukkah, everyone. You know,
the Jewish Christmas.
First, I
I
want
think
to
I
thank
Caesar.
Which has been, I'm sorry.
I said I think I've got Caesar.
Do you?
Hey, I'm here.
Well, it's been quite the odyssey this morning.
Sorry, buddy.
Hold on a second. Mr. President, we're going to have to come back to you later, okay? All right? Just making sure that you know. It's,
Come on, man.
we'll get to you. Cesar, how are
Come
you?
on, man.
You look good today.
Yeah.
You look very nice.
How do you feel?
How do you feel?
How do you feel?
Caesar?
How's your day going?
Oh,
You,
I
yes,
feel
you.
good. I'm rocking and rolling.
Are you?
Good deal.
You're not sick or anything?
Yeah.
You don't, they didn't stop you coming into town or anything, right?
No, we're good to go.
Good. So,
in what town are you in?
In D.C.
I'm actually in San Diego right now.
Which I said, D.C., San Diego. It's the
D.C.,
It's
San
the lower
Diego.
district of Communion in San Diego.
Beautiful
Which
city.
Yep.
our own
America's
Dave
finest.
G has spent quite a bit of time down in San Diego.
Oh yeah.
Quite frankly. So what's happening in your neck of the woods, to quote Willard Scott or Al Roker?
Well, I'm in San Diego, but we're still, from the Freedom Works perspective, we're still tracking everything that's going on in Congress. It looks like,
How can you do that from San Diego? Let's be
well,
real.
you
How
know,
the hell can you do that from San Diego?
Someone's got to do it, right? Thank God for technology. We can still communicate and pound sand. But Congress is like the bad college student that procrastinates every time, right?
Yes.
They do the homework to the last minute and do a crappy job always, every time. So the government runs out of money on Friday. It looks like this morning they barely cut a deal to vote on a CR until February, sometime in early February. Okay. Now we don't know if it's actually gonna pass, but it looks like they're gonna be voting on that. Then we have the debt limit. We're gonna be hitting that debt limit by around December 15. Okay. We still don't know how the Democrats are going to pass that. Remember, Brad, the Republicans bailed Chuck Schumer out a couple months ago when they voted with the Democrats to increase the debt ceiling by $480 billion. Those $480 billion.
And hang on a second. We need to do this because it's official. The new national debt, according to the Peter G. Peterson Foundation, as of today, $28,209,499,240,265,291,316,42,000. So it's not like it's like a really bad national debt. I mean, we're only at $28 trillion.
These guys don't care. And
No.
what's worst of all is what's worst of all is if you go ask any, go ask every American, but any member of Congress, spending is not at the top of the list. I mean, they're so busy fighting every other fight that they just forget about the spending that is literally crushing our economy, right? And I mean, just the insane spending that's going on, it's incomprehensible. But anyway, so I think the priority here is to ensure that Republicans stop working with Democrats. They already bailed them out on the infrastructure bill. They bailed them out on the debt limit last time. It's time for Democrats to do this by themselves. They have the majority in the House, they have the majority in the Senate, and they own the presidency. It's time for them to do stuff on their own. If they can't pass it, everything is on them.
Well, wait a second.
Enough.
You also, they have the majority in the House and the Senate, and they also have Mitch McConnell in the Senate. So, they've got enough firepower.
That is true. So anyway, so I think my point is, it's time for Democrats to suffer here, right? I mean, they're still trying to cram the big government socialism bill, which we still don't know where Cinema is. We still don't know where Manchin is, right? It looks like Manchin wants to push consideration of the bill till next year, and we know that passing these bills in an election year is extremely difficult. Now, Democrats can say, well, we're still going to get crushed in the midterm, so might as well pass it, right? So from our end, we got to continue educating the American public on all the terrible policies that are included in this big government socialism bill. So that's kind of the lay of the land of what's happening in December. But I think the debt limit fight will be arguably probably one of the most important ones here.
Well, and let me read this bit from, this is via Yahoo News over from the Hill. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is keeping his debt ceiling strategy close to the vest as he negotiates with Majority Leader Chuck Schumer ahead of a mid-December cliff. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has said Congress has until the 15th to raise the nation's borrowing limit or risk a catastrophic default that would have wide-stream ramifications for the global economy. For that, I'm going to have to call...
bullshit.
Nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens. Where are these global widespread ramifications?
Yeah, they're so full of it. And that's why it's so important, for the American people to call their bluff. We cannot fall for this. And so anyway, what could be happening behind the scenes? Could Mitch McConnell be saying, we'll vote for you on the debt limit? Could he be talking to Joe Manchin and saying, we'll give you the votes for the debt limit. In exchange, we want you guys to tank the big government socialism bill? I don't know if that's happening. I can only imagine. There's only so many scenarios they could be mulling over there. But, those are the conversations that are probably happening, Brad. So, again, from my end is, the message here is Democrats cannot have another win here, period.
Right.
They have to take a big loss, whether it's a government shutdown, whether it's passing the debt limit on their own and having their members vote for it, whatever it is, right? Now, here's another thing that Mitch McConnell could consider doing, and that's, remember, under Donald Trump, they suspended the debt limit for about 2 years, right?
Right.
What Mitch McConnell could do is say, we're going to raise the debt ceiling by a certain amount, and that would mean that Democrats would have to continue voting for the debt limit increase, every other year and have to take these votes, or, every, so often,
right.
And have to take these votes, right? So, I don't know. It's the political hackery here.
It's frustrating.
It's political hackery. Yeah, they don't care about finances. They don't care about the country.
No, they don't.
Care about sticking it. So it's disgusting.
I hate to cut you off, but it's Ron's fault. Cesar Ibarra, the Senior Director of Legislative Affairs over at freedomworks.org. Get involved. Go to freedomworks.org and help the fight against these yutzes in the government. That's our last hope. Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious rebel.
How you feeling there, buddy?
Clear.
You feeling queer?
No, I said you're clear.
Oh.
And I'm making it.
Okay.
Thank you for asking. I'm sorry I had to step away, but I barely made it then.
If you're gonna,
but obviously the phone system's not working on my side. And
how'd you get that? How'd you work that one then?
Skype.
Oh.
I called him with Skype.
Oh, gotcha.
You want me to shut this computer off?
No, actually just...
we need to test to see if your side's going to work eventually. We can do it after the show, but
Put the pad over here. Actually, the little thing looks like a phone. Click on it.
Double.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's making this thing run like molasses in winter over here.
yeah, same thing with mine. That's what's happening right now. It's running so freaking slow, I can't make it do anything.
The whole iMac?
Yeah.
Did you upgrade to the latest?
Mine's a Mac Mini. No, I did not.
That's weird. Maybe yours is just effed up. All right, so these new living robots that you talked about, Ron, with your little friend Rocky.
Yeah, the Xenobots.
The Xenobots. Oh, wait a second here. Hang on. Okay. They do look like Pac-Men.
Yeah.
And can we still play Ms. Pac-Man, or is it Pac-Woman now? All right, this just came up, but let's see what it says. Yeah, these came up.
Well, mine came up. It looked like it came up fine. But when I tried to call it, it was given a...
I made a call?
Yes. That's a better idea. Now, you'll also need to answer it since you're sitting here. You know, when some places talk about behind the scenes...
No, it says user busy.
Oh, yeah, it is coming up as user busy. So
yeah, so I'll message them.
Those dirty bastards. My only solace in that is that I heard Bo Snerdley more than once say, "Yeah, the phones aren't working." Why is that in every radio station across America? And everyone I've ever worked at, it's always the phones that are always crapping out.
Back when they were normal phones?
They were normal phones.
I never had a normal phone not work.
When you say normal,
meaning landline.
You never had landline go down?
Mm-mm.
Oh. What? Is that true? Oops.
Of course it's true. You heard it on the internet.
B from the SAV just started following me?
Who?
Oh, no, it's Tool School. B from the SAV started following Tool School. You going to make it? You going to stay away?
Oh, yeah, and can't even figure out how to make a post on the website. I've been doing the social media. I need to remember how
It's
to
simple. You just push the button and then you slide it over to the left and you punch that other one up.
I couldn't find the right button.
It's a common male problem.
Yeah. So you tell me.
It's Pack They now.
Pack They.
Did I do the... No, I didn't. It's our sponsor for the last half hour of the program. Damn it.
I got to get through some of this list.
Ron Johnson enters the Liberty Lighthouse to take your phone calls live. Until tomorrow, protect your liberties. Once they're gone, there's no getting them back. If we weren't so bad,
To puppy rape. I like to cuss. Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titty.
we wouldn't be so good. Mojo 50. The mothership has landed.
Robin P, Jack Hole, Pac-Man, Pac-Woman, Trans-Pac. It's a logical progression. Exactly. The Martian variant, what I learned today, get it right, real Brad Staggs. It's Pac-They now. Good point. Shy Boy and I were watching the background of the show on YouTube. Maybe you need to get off the adult websites first. Should we?
No.
Why would we want to do that?
Why? Yeah,
I don't understand what the benefit to that would be. I can tell you what the benefit of going to the adult website known as Mojo 50 would do. Not only can you find exclusive deals on things like the shirt that I'm wearing today. This is the Betsy Ross Betsy Head Mojo shirt, which you can no longer buy because it was a limited time. You sat on your thumbs and you missed out. So maybe I'll sell this one after I've worn it.
Thumbs. That might get a
It
little
should.
ring. Yeah.
If you can sit on both thumbs at the same time and do anything with them.
The key question is, were you wearing pants?
Nah. I rarely wear pants. They're overrated. Plus, if you go there on the front page, you'll see the Mojo 50 Christmas ornament, which is not for sale either. But if you make a donation of $25 or more to Mojo 50, you will receive it as a gift. Ron has been working his little hiney off over there at Ramika to get these done and out the door. And the Doc Thompson 5 rules to live by cutting boards have been a smashing success.
Yeah, absolutely.
cool.
We got
I like that. That's the first time
three
I've
more
seen it.
orders yesterday.
That is amazing. So we have the large board and the smaller board, and we're going to give one away. We just don't know how yet.
I think we're giving away the large one.
We're giving away the large. Yes. Yeah, we're going to give the large one away, but we haven't figured out how. Maybe it'll be the first person to describe in detail, in step-by-step fashion, how a single or double action revolver works.
Well, then give it to me because I know exactly how it works.
But it has to be independently verified by a third
No,
party.
how many fingers am I holding up under the desk?
2.
Nope.
I was wrong?
It was a thumb.
I knew it.
He's a former Navy SEAL and Muppet enthusiast. Please silence all cell phones and electronic devices and enter the skip. Prepare to be debriefed. Now presenting the Mojo 50 Global Security Brief, Lord David.
You know, I just realized that in the intro there, you talk about taking people's underwear off.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, it did?
Debriefed.
Oh, yeah.
You see?
I see what you did.
Was I the only one who thought that?
Briefs, boxers.
I'm so
briefs
sorry.
and boxers.
All right, so we will, in a second, I want to get to the bit on the nanobots.
We have to do security thing.
But first, we do have our security brief in 90 seconds.
Okay. So
It's a new
for those
timer.
sane people who think that, it'll get better. It's just a phase.
It what?
All this, the world going to
Oh.
hell in a handbasket with all the things we talk about, you guys talk about every day. It's not. Pull your heads out of your butts.
You mean I'm
and-
always going to be this color?
Yeah. So here's 2 articles I thought were fun.
All right.
So I sent one to you so you could do. Vox article mocked for calling term invasive species problematic because it has I've never even heard this word, nativist bias. So the whole point of this article right there was that we need to stop calling, and these are plants and animals, invasive. You get the mussels or the plant. We have to stop calling them that because it's a bias against these quote.
So kudzu, for instance, we could not call that an invasive species, even though that shit will kill everything in its path.
Right, because it's
It's
bad. So I don't have much time, so I'm gonna the article. You can read it. So riddle me this, Batman. If it's wrong to call invasive mussels or kudzu or any of those things invasive because they come from somewhere else and they need to, if they can conquer, if they can beat out the native species that are here, they should, right? That's the thrust of the thrust.
I see what you did there.
Article.
It's a pretty gay point, but I
Yep,
see what you did there.
It is.
You're so
Gay point.
retarded.
Yeah. You're reading it, aren't you?
I'm
It's interesting.
I'm giving it the once over perusal. So what was your point in this?
So
Just the stupidity of it, or the fact that it's
well,
completely retarded?
Well, these are the leftist loonies coming out with that.
But you repeat yourself.
Yeah.
Leftist and
So
loonies.
what about the people that we conquered when we took this country?
We're supposed to give that back.
We're supposed to give that back, but not to the kudzu or the mussels or the whatever. So that article clearly says you can't call a species invasive because they need to be able to have their time in the sun and this, that, and the other.
Well, that's a clam.
Yeah. Or
Bearded ones,
bird
but the other one.
or snake or anything else. But where was it was just the last couple of weeks when they talked about, the company, Microsoft.
Yeah,
when they
it's
said,
them.
oh yeah, this our land was once a chicken all laid.
It belongs to them. Let's give it back.
All those tribes.
How do we sleep while our beds are burning?
Yeah, so I just thought that was interesting. So what
Which
I'm
has a whole new meaning now if you listen to the song.
the article's gay. lame.
It's retarded,
I mean,
too.
it's
Lame,
retarded. But the
stupid.
point is if you think this is going to stop, you're wrong, because they're just going to keep hammering
Yeah,
and hammering.
they will continue to take over the language, which is why it's so important to not let them.
And that's what I mean. Most conservative-minded, normal people are just, hey, leave me alone. I just want to live my life. They're not going to let you live your life.
But it was in the beginning. It was easier. It's like, oh, they just okay. So they want a word. It's going to be offended if you call something gay because it's stupid. Wanda Sykes, remember the commercial?
Oh yeah.
Where the two teenage boys are sitting at the diner, and she's like, "Don't call something gay. It's like me calling something dumb teenage boy with an awful mustache something stupid." It's like, that is the most retarded thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And we went through the fact that retarded meant backward long before people who are offended by the term thought it referred to mentally handicapped or mentally challenged, developmentally challenged people.
It's called slang, bitches. Get over it. But
slang. That's another shirt, Ron.
Oh,
slang bitches.
Slang bitches. That's why I brought it up under the security heading. If you bury your head in the sand and say, "Oh, it'll just get better because they're not going to come after me."
If you bury Confucius, I think, said this. If you bury your head in the sand, you're going to take it up the butt.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah, you will.
Think about that.
I'm done thinking
There's
about
another
that.
T-shirt, Ron. If you bury your head in the sand on the front, you're going to take it up the butt.
You're going to take it up in the butt.
In the butt.
In the butt.
In the butt.
Right.
Okay. So that was my
That'd be
security.
in the butt, Bob.
That was my security briefing. That don't just think it's going to pass you by and you're going to be allowed to live your life. You need to.
Well, and to be fair, instead of invasive species, they would like to call them range shifting or climate tracking species. They will reshuffle the ecosystems in ways that are hard to predict. This, according to the freelance journalist Marina Balatnikova.
Oh, and it's if a species, climate change and the range shift it's causing are extraordinary circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
If a species flees a habitat that is burning or is melting, is it ever fair to call it invasive?
Okay, now I'm going to have to give Marina Balatnikova like a 6.
I don't
See, that's a 6-ish right there, and then you look at this one, and she's like, ugh. So
I mean, she might have other.
I'm not going to give her. No, she doesn't get points for being hot. So
No.
she's just completely wrong on this one.
She might have some.
She's just a
other-
leftist hack.
Yeah, but
Over
what
a box.
hypocrisy pisses me off more than almost anything.
And the Dutch.
if
Hate
you-
the Dutch.
I've never run into. Oh, Ron went.
I'm here.
Oh,
I just turned off my video for a second.
You got fed up.
He finally got sick of looking at his face. We got sick of that years ago, Ron.
I don't know. Just pisses me off when someone is.
No, but you're right. It's we're going to try to protect the yellow American tit swallow, and the range shifting clam blotnator, or this whatever the hell that thing is.
So native.
Have you ever seen one?
Well, yeah. So
But
the
not-
native species have to let these quote
Right.
invasives, shapeshifter, range shifter.
Unless they're Indian.
In but did anyone ever like being conquered? No.
No.
Shit
No one
happens.
wants to be defeated, said the great philosopher Michael Jackson.
But
He
but
did.
But it happens, and it's happened since time
Immemorial.
I was going to say that, but I didn't know if I could pronounce it correctly.
That's all right. I've got your 6.
Yeah. So
I got most of the time.
you're-
Unless it's more fun to make fun of it.
You're not going to be able to let it go. You're going to have to do something, and to do
No,
something
you're
is
right.
to get involved.
Yeah.
Because there's no way.
And
just to let
push
it go.
back, which
Push back.
don't.
yes.
That's the thing. I sometimes when I do this, I feel like a dick when I'm, that's retarded. Just because you've tried to demonize me for using a word like gay or retarded, and sorry, that was never entered my mind that I was being mean to somebody.
Right.
That was not ever my intent to be mean to, except the person I was saying was retarded.
Yeah.
Because obviously they were freaking retarded for
Well,
thinking
I
that.
love Jennifer Aniston because she said that. Well,
Right.
besides her boobs.
And I'm not going to apologize because if you were offended, that's on you, not me.
Or you can say, you know what, I didn't really care for that, and give you the opportunity. Hey, man.
I would be the first person, or maybe the second, who if somebody, I don't know, Down syndrome, you name your deformity, your whatever, and if somebody's picking on that person, I'll be the first in line to help kick the other person's ass. for doing it.
Yeah.
I'll be right there. Or if you're
'Cause
gay.
that's mean, and
Right.
that's-
It's mean.
Right.
If somebody is gay and is being picked on.
For being gay.
For being gay.
Yeah.
I'll be the first one standing there right next to you, ready to beat the shit out of the asshole who's calling you.
But if
who's
you're
making fun
gay
of
and you said something stupid and I say that's gay or you're stupid, then that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Get
And most normal gay people know that.
Yes, most normal ones.
Right.
So here's another fun
Yes.
one. This is kind of in the same grain of the
Grain. Now, this would be gluten-free?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Don't get me started on that.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
must have
don't.
watched the latest
I
J.P.
mean,
Sears.
Don't.
Actually, it was his first one.
I did. I did. But I had people at the fire station who thought that gluten-free meant it was healthier. Oh, I'm getting healthy. I'm off gluten.
Have you seen J.P. Sears? That was one of the first ones he did when he decided, because J.P. Sears used to do, much like the Hodge twins, bodybuilding videos.
Yeah.
And then he went over to the satirical side.
It pays better.
And yes, because there's the money.
Yes.
Which how sad are you that you weren't here for the Hodge twins?
Oh,
did you ever listen to the interview?
I did. It was good. You did a good job. They are funny.
They are funny as hell.
So
for black people.
For black people. For
Right.
two black people.
For two black guys.
Did you check out the article I just sent you? 'Cause I'm going to talk about
If you
that
just sent it to me, likely no. A small town mom wanted to help her community, and then the community took aim at her child.
So the synopsis, the summary. Let me explain something. No, let me summarize. There's no time.
How you say in English?
There's no time. Let me summarize.
See.
What movie?
Exactly.
Princess Bride.
I know.
Oh, okay.
My name's Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
I have the kids got me one Father's Day a T-shirt. It said
He's an activist leftist hack.
Yeah, but I didn't
Damn
know
it.
that when
I
the
didn't
movie
either.
was out.
I didn't either.
So the base of this, they moved into a small town. This family moved into a small town. And the woman got went on the school board, and she was helping her community, yada yada. And then her 4-year-old, who was a boy, decided he was a girl.
All right.
The 4-year-old.
Well, at age 4, you should pretty much be able to make your life decisions.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You can stand up. You can breathe. You can put food in your mouth.
You can just
most of the time.
You just barely got out of crapping in your pants.
That's okay.
But
You know what? If you're not crapping in your pants anymore, I say make all your life choices right then.
So the kid decided to change his or her name and wanted to be the other gender. And so they let said kid do this gender change at 4. And so the story goes they ostracized the woman and her family, and they had to move.
For letting her little boy dress up as a princess?
Yeah.
Who hasn't wanted to dress up as a princess at some point or another?
So you're allowed.
I feel pretty.
You let your 4-year-old change his or her name and be a different gender, and that's okay. So yeah, the whole story. I mean, it's a long story. And if I say it's a long story, I mean,
it's a long damn story.
I didn't say boring.
Abby's now 11. Is Abby really Alan?
No, it's Kit.
Oh,
Kit is the.
Sorry,
There's a sibling in there.
Oh,
I'm telling you, it's a long, detailed.
Disillusioned, same-sex marriage, progressive, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender people not on her radar.
Yeah. So she went through.
What a hater she is.
Oh, I know.
Right?
She's just throwing, opening up her heart and saying, "Oh, I didn't know about transgender until my kid did it, and now I'm, the neighbors
Parents
hate
have
me."
lost the ability to say to their kids 2 simple letters. No.
Yeah.
No means no. And when I say come here, I mean come here now.
Yeah.
Because the kid, that's the thing about like 4-year-olds, they don't get it when a train is barreling down the track and they're about to get hit and you say, "Get over here now." See, they have to do what you tell them to do because they're stupid. Well, they're not stupid.
They're ignorant.
They're ignorant. They do not know yet what they don't know.
Right. That's why it's beyond. So that article just pissed me off. I mean, it's a long story and goes through all the trials, the tribulations. She was a school board member, and now she ends up. They're moving because the neighbors couldn't accept her 4-year-old changing gender.
They didn't like Timmy in a prom dress?
Yeah. Prom dress, the kid's 4. I mean, it's not even the teenager where you could get, okay.
Wait a minute, hold on. Are you suggesting that 4-year-olds be banned from school proms now? Wow. I cannot believe what a hater you are.
So retarded
They're
and gay.
Right.
Yes.
You know what's fun is when you see these articles is to look up each individual writer,
Ooh.
the author of art, and just look into their background. I did that with one of the fact checkers over at USA Today.
I like that.
Yeah, oh, it's
What'd you-
fabulous. One of the fact checkers, the fact checker story in USA Today. This was published back in May of 2021. Fact check: no, COVID-19 vaccine isn't transmitted to others via contact. I'm not sure that was ever a story that was in contention, but I looked at where they first of all got their whole the basis and all their fact checking. And this is a story again on USA Today.
Oh, our fact checks. They're giving their sources.
The fact check sources. But listen, here are the fact check sources for the fact checking story. US FDA. First of all, do you trust have you seen Dope Sick? Have you looked at the number of
is that the
FDA?
Oxycodone
Yes.
one? Yeah.
Watch Dope Sick. It's incredible, and it's a story of OxyContin and Purdue Pharma. And if in fact there is one particular scene in Dope Sick, and it's with Comey, who was the, I guess, head of the FBI at the time. Anyway, he's in a position of power. I can't remember which position he was holding at that time. Could have been missionary, but he calls in his agents and he's like, "Wait a minute, why are you guys doing? I can't believe you're going after the chicken guy." They're like, "Chicken guy? We're after a part." Oh no, sir, you're thinking of Purdue Farms. We're going after Purdue Pharma.
He did not.
I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, dear Lord in heaven, we are doomed. But so you got the FDA, who I don't trust. Their other fact check sources are USA Today, USA Today, USA Today, USA Today, Pfizer, which is they got some of their fact checking from Pfizer, the CDC, and Duke University. Now, I may sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist, but why would you trust information from Duke?
Well,
who are
Duke's
Duke is what? What are they?
Well, Duke's a good school, at least the medical folks.
Okay.
I got accepted to Duke.
Do you know how much money they get from the National Institutes of Health?
They all get.
Exactly. Thank you for proving my point.
Yes.
If they're getting money from Dr. Fauci and the National Institutes of Health, how much can you trust information that comes out of Duke?
I just mean it's a reasonably, it's respectable.
It has been respectable.
Has it been undercut by money? I don't know. I don't know the answer. It's certainly possible.
Do you believe in?
I know
it's hard. I understand where you're coming from, because it's like, but no, I want to believe Johns Hopkins. I want to be able to go and say, wow, I can go to Johns Hopkins University and I want to be able to say I can go to the Mayo Clinic and trust their information. But when you look at the money that they all receive from the National Institute of Health, which there have been numerous articles and research on the amount of power that Anthony Fauci wields over these institutions because of the money.
Agree.
And
there's no disagreement.
It sucks. It's like learning that your dad is a serial killer. You don't want to believe it, but it's there.
You're worried about taking his advice on dating.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
You start to wonder whether or not you should have actually driven her all the way out into the field and buried her there.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't the right thing to do. But that's the problem, is you don't know who to trust anymore. And all of these sources, the CDC, do you trust them?
No.
No.
No, not at all.
Pfizer, do you trust them?
No, especially
Purdue. I mean, if the storyline or if the facts in Dope Sick are true, and the lawsuits and all of that, which again, it's hard to know which is the good and the bad guy in that quasi docudrama, because you've got the FBI, the FDA on one side, and you have Purdue Pharma on the other. Who do you root for?
Yeah.
I mean, they all lie. So that's why it's so damned hard to find the truth.
It's difficult to believe anybody. I
Yes.
get it. I just like Duke.
I don't blame you, because why not?
But
when you see the facts, you have to at least acknowledge that there is some time or some sort of influence going on when they're getting that much money.
There's reasonable doubt in their objectivity and their neutrality and their
And what you have just vocalized is the way a lot of people, myself included, felt about the federal government for a very long time.
Yeah, I know. It took me a while to pick up on that. And
I don't want to believe it.
Well, the last 5 years have definitely
Right.
changed my opinion of that. I mean,
Soren on the Twitters, by the way, just used the hashtag. I don't know if they're listening to the program or not, but they said, what I learned today is Republicans are losers. Yes, I agree. And I'm going to retweet that whether or not that person listens to this program or not.
yeah.
Because they are, and so are the Democrats.
Well, but those are the people that frustrate me, and that's the social media trend, is to just spew out something stupid and it gets carried away and on, and Republicans are stupid. Well, that's what this 8-year-old, you're stupid, I hate you. You don't mean it. You don't even know what hate means.
Nope. I'm going to show you what hate means.
I'm gonna
You don't know what a spanking feels like, kid.
It's gonna hurt
Wait until
me
you get a load of my foot.
more than you.
Jerome says David wants to believe that there is honesty among thieves.
I do. I want to. I don't necessarily believe it, but I want to. I want to
Well,
believe that.
okay, as somebody who was in the military and served a great number of years serving the country, you don't want to believe that the people that you had to answer to may be or may not be absolute dicks with an agenda.
Not only that, but criminals. I can buy. I mean, JFK was no choir. Well, maybe he was a choir boy, but
could have been
not as an adult.
Right.
But he did some stuff. But I mean, that's within the realm of acceptance. But Comey and just the FBI.
Oh, the FBI should be abolished.
All those
yesterday.
guys in the FBI. I mean, it's just
It's the
Travis
SS.
sham mockery.
It's the SS.
Yeah.
They are Mengele. We now have Mengele in the form of Anthony Fauci, and we have the SS in the form of the FBI and quite frankly, the CIA. I mean, they're not so. And this all, thank you, George W. The whole stupid Homeland Security thing, and again, that makes me question. I know, I sound crazy. That makes me question 9/11.
Hey, did you guys talk about the Boebert Omar debacle?
Oh yeah, she's a total, well, Ilhan Omar, and they're calling for Boebert to be dismissed from all of her committees because she attacked Ilhan Omar, the brother lover.
Brother married. She married her brother.
You know what?
husband.
Love is love.
Love is love.
Love is love, and there's no reason to start banging her. Not no, hang on.
Oh yeah.
There's no reason to start screwing her. No.
Banging it.
There's no reason to look down on. I don't think there's any way out of this.
Yeah, there's not.
Effing Florida man, Florida man in exile. I think Dave G needs some shiny balls for his hairdo. He might look like Captain Jack.
Hey, you got the balls. Hey,
I do have the swinging.
Has that guy gotten out a TV monitor?
He does. Well,
he's mocking. He's saying, "I need your balls."
Yes, you need my. How many times have I told you you needed my flashing balls? How many times? I don't know if Ron's with us or not, but
I'm here.
He's on the toilet.
He's broadcasting live from the toilet. It's your Daily Mojo.
Boom,
Clear.
boom, boom, boom.
Are you hacking up your hamburgers?
Where's the girl?
No, dude, I'm just laying my head down. Let you
I'm
and Dave-
sorry
let
you
and
don't
Dave handle the
feel
rest
so
of it.
good.
We'll handle it.
I was going to make fun of you coming up about the about Sing Lu, Ming Chu. What's his name?
Who's that?
Sun Ning. Sun Ning.
Cream
How
of
do you
some
say
young-
his name?
Cream of some young
Oh,
guy.
the NG guy?
Yeah. How do you say Ng? Is it Ing? N? It's new. No, it's not new.
I would say Ing.
No, there's no
You're
G. There's
because
you
you're a
don't
stupid
say the
white
G.
guy.
I don't think.
Neither one of you know how to say it.
I don't.
Pronounce
That war
NG.
wasn't mine.
How to pronounce NG correctly? It is.
A lot of intro.
We are looking at how to pronounce this name of Chinese or Cantonese origin. This is the Cantonese transliteration of Chinese surnames. How do you go about pronouncing it? In English, it is usually pronounced as Ing. Ng.
Just like Ron said.
Ron, you're so stupid.
But see, in Vietnamese, it's NG is Nguyen. That right, bottom right.
Is it?
Did you
bottom
get it?
right.
Yeah.
Does that work for you?
Yeah,
Let me know in the comments. Ng.
But no, NG is not the same as.
But that's a Vietnamese.
We are looking at how to pronounce what is effectively
see,
the
it
most
says-
common Vietnamese name, a very
Nguyen
common
is
name
Nguyen.
now
It's
found
Nguyen,
all
it's
around
not
the
Nguyen.
world that
But
has
that's
its origin
Cantonese,
in
not
Vietnam.
Oh, he just said Vietnam.
What's the difference between Cantonese food and Vietnamese food? It's rough to tell.
The country is different.
So I did there because it's rough.
I don't know what
Dog.
All right. Back at 5.
Stop it.
you-
Just stop it.
PrideRoasters.com.
The Daily Mojo.
Alpha Malpha Beaver. For real, Ron Phillips. All that talk of feet and dirty underwear to. Notice I didn't say panties. I hate that word. All that talk at the start of the show has made him sick. Can't blame him.
Yeah.
I don't hate
Oh,
the
you
word
got a
panty.
panty on your head.
Just hate
Raising
that word.
Arizona.
All right, so before we botch the name of the dude who is in Chicago, and this is the pronunciation guide from.
We are looking at how to pronounce this name of Chinese or Cantonese origin. This is the Cantonese transliteration of Chinese surnames. How do you go about pronouncing it? In English, it is usually pronounced as Ng. Ng. Did you get it? Does that work for you? Let me.
Sure.
Yes.
Did you get it? Now, that is not to be confused with the other word. And this is the.
We are looking at how to pronounce what is effectively the most common Vietnamese name, a very common name now found all around the world that has its origin in Vietnam. But how do you go about pronouncing it? Nguyen. Nguyen. Nguyen.
Nguyen. Like Don Nguyen and Donna Fiducia.
That one.
Right. Right, Ron?
So all this buildup is
Correct.
for...
Okay, just wanted to make sure because Ron sent a great story last night via text.
You're a dork.
No, I think this is important. This is how well we all communicate with each other, and it is
Jeez.
important to know. What? I'm just
Don't
saying.
throw me under the bus.
So
dude.
we get a fabulous story last night, and Bethany Knott was also on this text chain from Ron. Epic Times is the only place you'll ever hear about this. And the story is of dying COVID-19 patient recovering after court orders hospital to administer ivermectin. And Bethany Knott replies, that is so true. And I responded, and the only other place is when we did the story this week. You should listen sometime.
I should be fired.
Seriously, my producer gig has me busy as shit. Yeah, that old story. And then...
Here it comes.
And then Misty, now why don't you go ahead and tell them...
I was telling Misty that about this story
Uh-huh.
and that this guy...
First of all, set it up. She's in the shower.
No, we were
I
both
thought
just standing in the bathroom.
Oh, I thought she was in the shower.
No. And,
You sure she
and
wasn't?
I said, I'm
Man,
positive.
All right.
And I said, this guy, got the court to make the doctors give him ivermectin, and he recovered. She said, oh, you mean like the story you and Brad talked about the other day? I'm like, son of a bitch, my life sucks. I live in hell. And then I had to text Brad.
It was worth...
Let him gloat.
I didn't even gloat. I just said, you know what? You should try listening.
It was worth talking about.
probably should.
It was worth going over it twice.
Yeah, the Sun Ing, which I tried to tell you, Ron, that you pronounce it Ing. You wouldn't listen to me. Sun Ing.
I remember us talking about it
He
now.
went to the hospital, and the court had to not order, but ask the question of the hospital, why wouldn't you give? What are the downside to giving this guy ivermectin? And the court, or the hospital responded with the most ludicrous. They said it's against our a policy. First of all, there could be harmful side effect. The guy is going to die. It could be harmful side effect.
What is the effing difference?
Right, exactly. And I think the most damning thing that the response of the hospital was how dangerous it was for the court to this was the same as judicial overreach. And it's like, wait a minute, from the same people who want to make everybody get vaccinated, and they're whining about judicial overreach. Which, by the way, if you do not have yet your COVID emergency kit of let's see, doxycycline, zinc, and
real drug,
hydroxychloroquine.
Yes, hydroxychloroquine.
Good grief, that is a lot of letters. Hydroxychloroquine.
Quinine.
That too. But you America's Frontline Doctors. You get your. Do not do the.
Oh yeah.
Don't do the face-to-face. Don't do the FaceTime thing.
Don't.
You'll die of COVID before you get through. But if you go there and
there's two choices: one to have a face-to-face, or one have have them review your symptoms and
send you an
take
email.
it from there.
Right.
Yep.
And you can get it.
Don't do that.
All right. So Ron, I'm going to continue to drive you further into your misery.
Thank you.
You and Rocky discussed the nanobots.
The Xenobot. Yeah, the Xenobots.
So these are living robots made in a lab.
What's a Xenobot compared to a nanobot?
$20, same as downtown.
Boom, boom.
Xenobot. What is it? Well, Ron's the expert. So what is a Xenobot?
I don't know.
It's simple programmable organism.
Yeah, I don't know why it differs from a nanobot. They're both man-made. Yeah,
right,
I think a Xenobot actually has some part of an animal.
Is it a single or a double action nanobot?
The Xenobots are named after the African clawed frog and her self-healing microbots,
which are
so got
tasty.
yeah.
If you serve them with a little dipping
They're
sauce.
programmed by a computer and built from the ground up using biological cells. That's the difference, because a nanobot's not.
Nanobot's
All right.
purely mechanical.
So Xenobot, programmable organism. And before you start calling BS on this is from NPR, by the way. Scientists say they witnessed never before seen type of replication in organic robots created in the lab using frog cells. Among other things, the findings could have implications for regenerative medicine, which, hello, Star Trek. They used to get little nanobots. They'd run around and then they'd fix all your internal stuff. So the discovery involves a Xenobot, simple programmable organism, is created by assembling stem cells in a petri dish. It's described by a team of researchers from Tufts University, Harvard University, and the University of Vermont in a paper published this week in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. And let me just say, as a side note, if you've never been to their Christmas party, the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, I mean...
You don't know what you're missing.
Debauchery?
Stay away from the copy.
Oh, that and the lampshades. You can think about this like using the different cells as building blocks like you would with a Lego set or with Minecraft. This according to Douglas Blackiston, a co-author of the study. He said to NPR, the researchers hope that one day these Xenobots, described by the same team in a paper published nearly 2 years ago. Wait a minute. So these things have been around for at least 2 years that we are aware of. To perform useful functions such as finding cancer cells in the human body or trapping harmful microplastics in the ocean. Now, you have this story, which again, this guy just admitted has been around for a couple of years. They do look like Pac-Man.
Well, yeah.
I swear, they look like Pac-Man.
But see, we have a thing in our bodies now called a macrophage, and it does the same.
Speak for yourself.
It does the same thing too. That's how it gets germs and viruses and all that other stuff.
All right.
It does. It looks like Pac-Man also.
Well, you combine that story with this story. This is from Aftenbladet. And who, after all, hasn't been to their Christmas party? I'm not even going to go into it.
They're not
this
Christians.
Couldn't be. This is a story out of Sweden. You can now get your vaccine passport in a chip in your hand or elsewhere under the skin. And I would just like to point out for those of you who might be...
chip i handen som man kan använda för att öppna dörrar och andra praktiska vardagsfunktioner.
How many times just today have I said that? Am I right?
What?
So you can get this. It's an IOB chip. You can get it inserted into your body with different types of data, and now you can insert your COVID certificates in the chip.
Oh, thank God. I wondered where to put that.
Well, I have a couple
Now
of
I have a
suggestions.
place.
Let me, in this particular video that I think I did tweet out earlier this morning, I want to point out that one of the things that this particular person does once having, and they show you the process by which they are implanting this chip into the person's, in this case, into their arm. And once he gets this chip implanted into his arm, one of the first things they show is the guy walking up to a vending machine and ordering Cheetos, whatever it is. And to pay, he goes, bloop, and waves his hand in front of the little vending machine pay reader. How many times have I said, how convenient would it be if you go to 7-Eleven, you buy a Slurpee, you buy, your burrito, and instead you just bloop, you don't have, and you get into your car at that point, you don't have to have a key. Your car knows that you're in it because the little thing under your skin, and you're like, hey, start car, and the car starts, and it's like, man, this is the best life. Until, of course, they accuse you of something, and then the authorities can reach into your car and go, stop car, and your car stops. And then they can also cut off your ability to pay for anything, anywhere, whether or not you've done anything wrong.
Now, I'm a big fan of science fiction. Throw into the self-destruct or the you could make it kill people.
Yes, you could. You could, and with all of these stories coming, this is the point I wanted to make, is the fact that all of these stories that you heard, which sounded like complete rubbish and still have a tainted scent to them, if you will, of trackers and graphene, was it graphene oxide, Ron?
Oh, that's the thing.
It's a razor
Melissa
blade.
was talking about.
Graphene oxide. You don't remember. I don't blame you. It was only yesterday. Graphene oxide, and look the story up, but it's in the one of the vaccines. And there is another story, and file it under conspiracy theory, that these graphene oxide molecules or atoms, which are like one atom thick, that they turn into razor blades, or can actually mimic a razor blade inside you and cut you up, and that they're in the vaccine. So,
well, Melissa's talking.
It has. They said it had electromagnetic. So that's how people were, quote unquote, getting the old magnetism from the shot thing.
So again, you see stories like this. How big a leap is it to say it's a tracker? I mean, yes, it sounds wackadoodle, conspiracy theorist, cuckoo, baloney. But when you have self-replicating robots running around at a molecular level, you have people in Sweden having the microchip implanted into their arm, which can have the COVID-19 passport on it, which, they'll never do that. Remember, a year ago? Never. And now, why is it such a stretch? And I'm not saying that it's happening, but why is it such a stretch that the vaccine could have a tracker in it?
Well, you could answer that with the stretch of us vaccinating an entire world for a disease that's 99% survivable, except if you have comorbid.
Right.
I mean,
again,
we're getting ready to shut down the world because of the
hold on
thing.
Omicron.
Omicron, Joe. Omicron. Yeah.
Just get used to saying it, Omicron. The president said it that way. I'm saying it that way. It's all that matters. It's all that matters. Biden would not lie to us.
He is the leader of the free world.
He is the leader of the freest world.
Complete control of all his facilities, faculties.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to shut down the world again. I mean, someone already did that. Country. Austria shut down.
Okay, hold on. Alex Jones, this TIFF just retweeted. The CIA files say staffers committed sex crimes involving children. They weren't prosecuted.
Okay.
That's the CIA. So again, you see all these stories that keep coming out. Xenobots, nanobots, whatever you want to call them. You see the chips. Why is it? But those are possible, but no. Never would they want to put a tracker into a vaccine. Never. I mean, why would the powers that be ever want to know where you are all the time?
What do you think? Maybe that, and I'm discounting the tracker in the vaccine just because I want to move on to the chip, but it is certainly in the realm of possibility. Do I think they are? No, but
why do you think they're not? Just out of curiosity.
Well, because I want to move on to the track.
No, but why? There has to be a reason you don't believe they're not in there. You don't believe they're in there.
Because I don't think it's technologically possible, but why even bother?
Before, okay, that's
now you've got a chip. Now you've
right.
got
But the chip is that's voluntary. You have to agree to the.
So was the vaccine at some
Oh,
point.
Yeah, well, not so much. Technically, right now, all the mandates have been blocked. But the point is,
Shrimp
why
on
you
the
say,
Barbie, mate?
why would they want you to? Why would they want to know where you are all the time?
No. I'm just saying that why bother with making something the vaccine trackable when you can get people to voluntarily put a chip in their arm?
In Sweden.
Yeah, but Sweden, the Swiss.
I think they are. I think in Sweden they're the Swiss.
Are they?
Yeah, they speak Danish there.
That's
I
Switzerland.
love Danish. I love it with
your doctor
coffee.
said you can't have any of
I
those.
know it's
because they're pretty much normal, run-of-the-mill, regular people. They're not conservative. They're not liberal. Everyone likes the Swedes. The Swedes.
Sure they do.
The Swedes.
Sure they do.
I'm just pointing out that they're not radicals. It's not like North Korea. They're pretty much run-of-the-mill people, and so now they're.
What is a run-of-the-mill person?
Well, not at either.
Just
end
middle of the road. Just
no. I mean, not at either end of the spectrum.
well, that's the way most people in the United States are.
Right.
Right down the middle, but
here they go. They're. I don't know. Are those? Is that a mass majority of the Swedes? Who are those guys?
How many people live in Sweden?
I'm just saying, how many people got their chips in them? Is that just 2 or 3? Is it a startup company? They're trying to tell you how to do it. Is the government making them put the
not yet
passports in there? Not yet. That's my point. Why bother with a vaccine when you could have these chips in there that do much more? And you're telling them, and people are saying, yes, put this in my arm.
There are only 10 million people in Sweden. 10-1.
So here you go. So when I lived in England, everyone used their card with the near field
readers.
Yeah.
Well, and they've got Amazon has the technology where you can. Debbie says, "I don't want any bots in me, thank you."
Yeah.
Or do you? The Amazon technology in some of the stores in England, where you don't even have to bloop everything across the scanner.
Yeah, you just walk through the door and it
and
puts
it
it on your
knows
account.
all the RFID chips in all of the food and the products are already there. So again, they want, and I understand why you say, why would they want to track you? I don't get it either. The problem is we don't
with
want
the vaccine. I understand why I agree with you about wanting to track.
But I don't understand why, other than, I mean, some people like to control other people. I'm not one of them. I just want to be left the hell alone.
Right.
I don't have any desire to control people. None. Unless I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
And when I'm paying for it,
damn it,
you're going to do what I tell you to
and
do.
you better do it
if you know what I'm
chop,
saying.
listen
Right.
now, yeah.
And if I want the shoes, I want the shoes and the underpants, whatever. But other than that, no, I don't want to control people. And so it's foreign to me to want it, have this power over everybody.
But to fail to
But they want it.
To fail to recognize that goes back to my earlier security point. To fail, why would anyone want it? Normal, average Joe and Josephine Americans say, why? Well, it doesn't matter why. It's there. They're trying to do that. Just the amount of control and chaos that have come up for the last 5 years, for that matter.
And so when you see the stories about trackers and vaccines, probably is a lot of malarkey, probably. But it's within the realm of possibilities. That's the thing.
Agree.
And again, money being the great motivator for most
primary driving factor.
Yes. If in fact if in fact a drug company was working with a government, let's say.
Or you mean
drug
on that specific thing, because they've
Maybe.
certainly been working with the government for this vaccine.
Right.
Hello.
Exact. And the government, and again, the connection between the labs that were making the anthrax vaccine and the COVID vaccine, same government contractors in a lot of cases, and then go investigate the whole polio up back in the 50s with the polio vaccine, and look at the company that was making the polio vaccine initially that botched it, and guess what their primary product was? Anthrax vaccine. It's just weird. They're just weird coincidences.
That is
They're
weird.
very bizarre.
Yeah, I agree.
Hold on a second. We do have to mention, speaking of bizarre and the fact that you could die at any moment, don't die without getting your daily dose of American Pride Roasters coffee. Why? Because you can live longer if you drink coffee.
Coffee makes the world go round.
It does, even though you don't drink coffee.
I like to smell it, but I can't drink it.
Coffee?
Yeah. I just said it.
Bet you do. It also...
what 2 states make coffee in the United?
State of Bliss and the...
No, go back to 8. No, go back to 6.
Ooh, good question. What are the only 2?
I'm going to say California is probably one of them.
And?
Hawaii.
Good for you.
Yay.
You win the prize package.
Yes. Yay.
It's a year's supply of American Fried Roasters coffee just for you.
And a wood poop here sign.
And a wood poop here sign. Exactly. American Pride Roasters, I'm telling you, if you want to get your order in before Christmas so that it gets to people on Christmas, December 15th seems to be the magic number for everybody, including American Pride Roasters. So get yours now before DM just says screw it, throws in the towel, and moves to Costa Rica.
Hey, can we mock a couple of people before we run out of time?
We already mocked Ron.
I know, but we need to mock a couple more people, and I can knock
And
it off my
Romika
list.
Designs. Romika Designs, only at romikadesigns.com can you find things that are made with lasers, and they're going fast. Get them now before they run out. And yeah, you can buy the cutting board, but you go to Mojo 50 for that. So
That's
if I
correct.
confused
And
it,
Christmas orders are being cut off at midnight, December 12th.
why not the 15th?
No, we'll take the orders for the ornaments up through the 15th, but
everything else is the 12th.
Yeah, the 12th,
Okay.
just for
Not
shipping
confusing.
purposes. Yeah.
Okay, not confusing at all.
No, it's good.
That's
12.
why this is on a podcast, and you can rewind and figure out what the hell he just said.
Yeah,
because
I got
quite
it.
frankly,
12.
we don't even know. Who are we mocking?
Butt Judge.
Oh no, he has the whole logistics thing under control.
No, did you hear him about do a Butt Judge electric vehicles? Type into the Google.
You know, it's always a good idea.
I know.
when you have these things.
I didn't have time.
Electric. This better be good.
It's just mocking. I mean,
Tommy Lahren rips Pete Buttigieg for suggesting buying electric cars to avoid high gas prices.
Yeah, he said, and I think I can quote this: "If you have an electric car, you won't have to worry about filling up your anymore about."
So if you're going to mock somebody, it's a good idea to have the mocking.
Well, that's what I got you for.
I
just
need a little bit of time.
I just tee
That's
it up.
all I ask.
We got 3 minutes.
No, we don't.
We got 6 minutes.
No, we don't.
How much time do we got?
Only until the end.
Yeah.
Everyone can probably afford electric cars in the world. No, that's not it. I have no idea what he said.
Keep going. So what he's talking about, the stupidity, it goes deep, because he talked about everybody getting an electric car. You won't have to worry about gas prices, because
There's no connection. There's no connection between electricity and gas.
Electricity's free. It just comes from the building, remember?
Electricity is a gaseous gas. And gas is a liquid.
His point that if you get an electric vehicle for $50,000, you won't have to worry about gas prices. That was one of his quotes. You won't have to worry about gas prices when you drive your electric vehicle. He left off where the electricity.
Here's a good one. MSNBC Sunday show with Jonathan Capehart apparently said that families who own electric vehicles would see a $12,500 discount in transportation costs. I want that.
Yeah, because electricity doesn't cost as much as gas. How is
The people who stand to benefit most from owning an EV are often rural residents who have the most distances to drive. The most distances?
Oh, that's the one that got me. So rural, you're out in the sticks and you can't charge your freaking car because there's nothing between your house and the town that you have to go in to sell your crops or whatever.
I'm more focused on the poor English. Often rural residents who have the most distances to drive.
Yes.
Who burn the most gas, and underserved urban residents in areas where there are higher gas prices and lower income.
Yes.
They don't own cars anyway.
Right. So they're going to leave their cars out because they don't have garages because they're poor, They're going to park their vehicles where to charge them? This guy, Butt Judge, is a moron. Look at that face. Alfred E. Newman, he's a moron.
But no, he came up with a plan of counting the ships different.
Well,
and now there are fewer ships in the queue off California because you can't see them.
Well, he
That's
had
brilliant if you think
4
about
months
it.
of paternity leave. You know, he had a lot of time to study this stuff.
He did, which I'm sure he did every day.
Yes, of course. he did.
Everyone can probably afford electric cars in the world that Pete Buttigieg lives in. Communications director Mercedes Schlapp tweeted, she's used to be with the Trump White House. Average American struggling with record high gas prices, not so much.
Yeah, and
I would have a damn Tesla tomorrow. I would own one tomorrow if I could afford it. I love Teslas.
But that's
Shoot,
part
I
of,
do too, man.
That's
I
part of the
want
problem.
that.
They're
is
cool.
They cost a lot of money.
They cost a lot of money, and you can't travel without prior planning.
Yeah, you do have to travel,
Right.
or have to plan.
Well, but I was talking about the poor people that
We
they're,
don't-
they're
we don't,
speaking about.
we
You
don't
have
talk about
you have to have the ability to charge these things. Where are you going to get a charger if you're poor?
Right, especially if you don't have a credit card. How can you charge it without a credit card?
Right, you can't use the public.
Right.
The public. So, Butt Judge is a moron. What do we have? Do you have last call? How much time we got?
Ron, would you look at the time?
Hey, did
What do you mean it's last call?
I'm so sorry. We're out of time.
Did
I
you
know
mean to
it's,
cut you off, Dave?
I know it's hard to believe that we spun through 2 hours on ADD Thursday and still didn't get it all in.
We did.
At least one of us is taking meds for it, though.
We got most of it in.
It is
More than the
Thursday. What is today? The 2nd December?
Uh-huh.
Right. Year of our Lord 2021. What in the world sort of lessons did any of us learn, if any? Ron learned it's no fun to puke in public.
Yeah.
Well, you can tell he is not laughing. Pure Blood Whiskey. I still say we need a truck driver to head up the Department of Transportation. What kind of stupid idea is that? Somebody in the transportation industry to talk about and do stuff with What an idiot.
What the hell?
What an idiot. That's the dumbest thing.
What a maroon.
We need a gay mayor from South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah.
Named Butt Judge.
With no experience. in
Right,
transportation.
exactly. I'm sorry, but it makes me think we're living in the Matrix. It really does.
Which pill?
All of them. Maybe I shouldn't have taken the other one.
Yeah.
Mojo Jedi, stay off the Butt Judge's ass unless you swing that way or for $20, same as downtown.
Bing, bing.
Why didn't it do it?
Oh.
My finger doesn't work. I think it's the grease.
It's dry.
The Knights Who Say Need, Dave's right. We hicks in the rural areas all haul our crops in our EV vehicles. Not everyone in rural areas are farmers, Dave.
Yes, they
Which,
are.
ironically, Farmer Dave is not the name of Famous Dave's restaurant.
What?
I had this is years ago.
A breakdown?
No, it was a host of a DIY show who I love dearly, but he said, I'll meet you over there at Farmer Dave's restaurant. And for those of you familiar with Famous Dave's, I was like, Farmer Dave's? What are you talking? Oh, Famous Dave's. He says, that cursive writing gets me every time. Saddle effing tramp. I take exception to Director of Global Security David G. calling butt gig booty judge as a professional assessor. I know good butts. He is just a whole sin and ass. Whole sin and ass. Huh.
I don't care how it ended. That was a good one.
Right. The Martian variant, electricity is free if you just plug into your neighbor's receptacles. And who has it? I'd like to plug into her receptacle, if you know what I'm saying.
It's Brittany's birthday.
Right. And she's legal now.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word. Coming up over most of these Mojo 50 radio stations, it is an encore presentation of Abnormal Realities with Ron and his little friend
exactly
Rocky.
what it is, encore presentation.
Yeah, because you can't have one.
You sound like hammered horse shit.
I feel like.
Huh. Remember,
love you too.
Your daily Mojo and not necessarily phone calls are made possible by real Ron Phillips over there puking all over the radio dials. Remember, the smallest minority on earth is the individual. Those who deny individual rights cannot claim to be defenders of minorities, and yet they do anyhow. Sic separate tyrannus, resist stupid. And good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are.
Bell count is coming up next. Likely Ron is not. Au revoir. Swedish.
Clear.
You poor thing. I feel bad for you. You're not even listening anymore.
He's completely gone.
He is
He shut off
he
and
is
ran.
yeah, he's toast.
Good morning, Mojo 50.
we missed
I'm
you.
Leprechaun, and here with the bell count for the Daily Mojo, Thursday, December 2nd, 2021. Today there were 5 missed innuendo bells for your balls are gonna drop, my balls are everywhere, green balls, and my flashing balls, and a few others, and 12 actual bells. Peace out, boys. Stay healthy. Talk to y'all mañana.
And maybe tomorrow, too.
Yeah.
One never knows. All right, and here it is.
Prerogative.
Who sang about that? It's my
Prerogative.
That's prerogative. Prerogative is your right to do something.
Boy, I hate to burst your bubble. That's my
Prerogative.
Same thing.
The song?
Yeah.
Who's Bobby Brown? I don't give a shit about that
It's my
Prerogative.
F stick.
But that's true.
Can I say
It-
F stick now?
I think you can.
That piece of shit.
It's my
Prerogative.
Is that what he said?
Huh? Nobody ever says it right. It's a noun. It is a right, a privilege limited to a specific person or to persons of a particular category.
That's pejorative.
Sure.
That's another word. Pejorative.
Pejorative, that's another word. Punitive, that's another word. You know what else is another word?
Goodbye.
That is a wrap.
Technically, that's 4 words. Isn't it? Hey, Ron.
Yes.
Bye.
Oh,
He's so gone.
He ran.
He's left skid marks.